Hey guys, I apologize for the lack of gameplay with the new weapons, but if I'm being completely honest, I'm not dealing with the fact that this game is now crashing multiple times within the same hour after this new update. And I've seen multiple people complain about the exact same thing. And if you're experiencing crashing as well, comment down below. I hope you guys will understand. This game's already frustrating enough to play, and I'm not dealing with it crashing to get gameplay with trash weapons. So I hope you guys enjoy the video and understand. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the new vault weapons that have been added to Battlefield 2042 via the update 2.2 yesterday. If you have not watched that video explaining all the things they've done and added in update 2.2, I'll link that in the description and provide a card on screen for you right now. But in general, guys, these new vault weapons illustrate a problem with actually all of the vault weapons that have been added to the game so far. They suck at first. They suck, and I'll explain why from my perspective. And as always, thank you guys so much for all support. You guys really knocked the last video out of the park, and I'll keep you guys updated on what portal server I'm going to go with and what it's called so you guys can actually find it. Like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy it and want to see more content just like this. So the new vault weapons that were added, obviously you have the MP412 Rex, the ACW-R, and the AKS-74U. Now, I'll just say outright that the Rex, I think, is completely fine. I think it does what it's supposed to do. It's a quick little two-tap revolver. I don't really expect it to do well at range. It does exactly what I expected it to do, and I think that weapon is completely fine. Now, the AKS-74-2 and the ACW-R, wow, these weapons are not competitive against any of these current other weapons at all. And I'll start with covering the AKS-74U because I think this is the worst of the two. The AKS is so bad that there's probably a lack of AKS gameplay in this video, simply because I don't want to use the weapon in its current state. It is really pathetic that DICE cannot rebalance these weapons before they actually make them available in the base game. The AKS, as it currently stands, is a 5 bullet to kill, which is already pretty bad in this game's balancing, but it shoots at 600 rounds a minute, which is extremely slow, painfully slow, in fact. Especially when you consider the fact that the K30 quite literally shoots twice as fast and only takes 1 more bullet to kill. So as it currently stands, the AKS is 100% the worst SMG in the entire base game, and I would unironically rather run around with the burst fire Glock, because believe it or not, the burst fire Glock actually outdamages the AKS in close quarters. And before we get into talking about the ACW-R, which is definitely the better of these two weapons, but still pretty bad, I just have to bring this point up that in order to make these weapons at least fun to use, or maybe even competitive in the meta, it would only take about 10 minutes to sit down with a pen and paper and rebalance these guns' damage models. Because realistically, you should have data on how fast your weapons are killing TTK-wise, and TTK is of course measured in milliseconds, and DICE, if you don't know how to calculate that, you can simply go on Google and type in time to kill calculator, one will pop up for you. But the same thing happened with the M60, if you guys remember. The M60 got buff, I think a couple patches ago, and it was terrible when it released. So I'm not sure why they can't see these weapons are terrible before they release, but it's probably because they don't look at them at all. The only thing they really have to do to the AKS to make it somewhat viable, it won't be the best gun, but you can just give it a 4 bullet to kill range and make sure it extends out to a decent distance, and that weapon would be a unique pick, maybe a competitor to the Bison within the SMG meta. Now moving on to the ACW-R is at least usable. You can kill people with it fairly proficiently, but it's still nowhere near most of the ARs in the game, not even the M16, which they just recently buffed. The ACW-R's damage is really not that competitive at range, which is where it really matters in this game because the engagement distances in Battlefield 2042 are much longer than previous Battlefield games. The magazine count is an odd 27 with no option for an extended mag, and I just find it to be lackluster in general. And again, this is not just exclusive to these new vault weapons that they just added. The M16 was pretty bad before they buffed it, the M60 was pretty bad before they buffed it, and now both the ACW-R and AKS find themselves within the exact same situation that the M60 and M16 found themselves in, and this stems from incompetency and basically not understanding where to place these weapons within the base game. This, again, can be very easily remedied just by doing TTK calculations and looking at their damage models, but, you know, it's DICE, they're not going to do that, and now we basically just have two weapons that aren't worth using, even though they're new. And it's quite irritating when you think about how simple it would be to just look at how fast the weapons kill in the base game, and then look at if these weapons are competitive in the slightest with their damage models. If I was given a certain amount of time to rebalance these two weapons with zero experience, I could, with confidence, absolutely rebalance them to make them interesting within the current meta for sure. All I need is the Synthic BTK graphs, and I really don't even need those. I could probably go in game and figure out the specific distances in the test range, write them down on a piece of paper, and then do the TTK calculation for what I need to do to make this weapon not trash. But hey, I'm not a developer, so I'm big, stupid dummy pants, and yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think about these two weapons, and let me know what you would actually do to rebalance them. I'll actually link Synthic graphs if you guys want to look at how the other weapons stack up, and maybe you guys can come up with some unique ways of rebalancing these weapons. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later.